Hi everyone, welcome to Forbes Flash. Thanks for joining us as we recap some of the biggest stories to hit Forbes this week. Let's get started with Apple's announcement that the tech giant is bringing cash back to the US. Here's part of the statement. Apple, already the largest US taxpayer, anticipates repatriation tax payments of approximately $38 billion, as required by recent changes to the tax law. A payment of that size would likely be the largest of its kind ever made. Apple CEO Tim Cook stressed the company's commitment to the U.S. economy. Apple shares appeared to climb in response to the announcement as of Wednesday afternoon. Here's the 3 things you need to know from this past week. We're still in the early days of the cryptocurrency revolution, but Bitcoin mining is already using up massive amounts of electricity. It's estimated that right now the power used is 20,000 gigawatt hours per year, which equates to the power demand of Ireland. While some are concerned that the Bitcoin mining could end up using all the world's power by 2020, others disagree. Presumably, the technology used to mine Bitcoin will evolve over time. 2017 was a tough year for Uber, as the ride-sharing company endured a series of crises. The result? A major year for competitor Lyft. The company announced this week that they had doubled rides in the past year, reaching 375.5 million rides in the US and Toronto. That number is up 120% from last year's total. Lyft's VP of Operations attributes the major growth both to Uber's struggle and also to a shift in consumer transportation needs. Ivanka Trump's latest memoir about empowering working women is losing money for its publisher. Forbes found that Portfolio, a division of Penguin Random House, has lost at least an estimated $220,000 since the book came out in May of 2017. Women Who Work has only sold 31,900 copies. Our investing team has been tracking Trump's economic impact since the election. Now, 1 year post-inauguration, how does the U.S. economy look? Over the past year, the stock market has boomed, GDP growth has improved, and unemployment is at an almost 17-year low. However, job gains were lower than any of the past 6 years, and wage growth was less than last year. Consider, though, that Trump inherited an economy that was on a good trajectory. His own mark will be based on long-term impact of his new tax laws. Just a few months ago, we released the 2018 class of 30 under 30 honorees, the young leaders leading change in 30 different industries. Ready for more inspiration? The European version of the list launches this weekend, with even more game-changing young leaders. To follow along, check out #ForbesU30Europe on social. This week, we released this year's list of Hong Kong's richest people, and the people who made it are only getting richer. Total fortunes of the group are up by $60 billion. Business titan Ka-Shing held on to his #1 ranking with a $36 billion fortune. Pollyanna Chu is the richest woman on the list with $12 billion. Her wealth has almost tripled in the past 2 years. Joining us now is Forbes reporter Kathleen Tchaikovsky to discuss the latest changes to Facebook's timeline algorithm.
Late last week, Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg made a major announcement that the company is planning to overhaul its entire suite of apps, which includes the main Facebook app, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, to renew its focus on friends, family, and groups across its entire products. So to start this change, Facebook is going to make a major update to its newsfeed algorithm in the flagship app to prioritize posts by friends, family, and individual groups. And as a result, this means that posts by brands and publishers like media sites that are not paid will be seen less by people in their news feeds. So far, Facebook has said that it is expecting the algorithm change to cause an overall decline in publishers' traffic. So right now, publishers have really had a whole range of reactions. Some publishers are very anxious and concerned, especially publishers that derive, say, 20 to nearly 50% of their overall traffic from Facebook. Other publishers aren't expecting to have a very significant impact to their overall numbers because they don't rely on Facebook or other social sites very much for traffic. This would be especially subscription sites that have an established audience that's more direct. But this really is continuing a trend that has started at least since the beginning of 2017. Third-party sites like Parsley have studied more than 2,500 publishers with digital media sites, and they have seen an overall decrease in external traffic coming from Facebook, from roughly Facebook making up 40% of external traffic at the beginning of 2017 to, on average, making up only 25% at the beginning of this year. So we already are seeing really a significant decline in referral traffic from Facebook, and this Facebook's new change is really going to increase that trend that has already been happening. When Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the changes on his Facebook page, he cited two main reasons for Facebook's decision. His first was that research by Facebook and by academics has shown that people's time passively scrolling through newsfeed, even if they're consuming entertaining content or articles that are informative, people's passive experience actually makes them less happy. And so he said that he doesn't want his platform detracting from people's well-being, and that this is a way to make people feel better about the time that they spend on Facebook. He also cited research by Facebook that shows that the overall number of posts people are seeing in their news feeds used to be tilted in the direction of seeing posts by friends and family, but over time, people are seeing more posts by brands and publishers than people they know. There have been mixed views on how these changes will affect Facebook's revenue. Zuckerberg did warn that in the near term, Facebook expects the changes to cause people to actually spend less time in their newsfeed because they won't be passively scrolling through so many stories. And in the near term, that could mean a decrease in revenue if people are spending less overall time on Facebook's app. However, in the long term, there's a strong case to be made that this is actually a really good move for Facebook's business, because the algorithm changes are not going to affect the volume of advertising in people's news feeds. So posts that are backed through campaigns, or known as paid posts, won't see any decrease in visibility in the news feed. As a result, publishers and brands whose unpaid posts are getting less visibility in the news feed will actually likely be more inclined to pay for their posts to be seen by more people. So in the long term, I think there's really a strong case to be made that this is really good for Facebook's business and could actually increase their revenue over time. These algorithm changes are coming off of a very turbulent year for Facebook. Facebook had to testify along with Google and Twitter in the Senate for the use of its advertising platform by Russians to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. Facebook has also come under scrutiny for the volume of fake news on its app and for not doing more to prevent misinformation from spreading on its platform. While these changes don't directly address the issue of fake news and election meddling, they are really a strong statement by the company that it doesn't want its main identity to be informing the public. That Zuckerberg is really saying, we're a site that is about connecting people and building relationships between people, and our primary goal is not to inform the public about the world or for that to be their primary responsibility and function.
Thanks for joining us. Tweet your feedback using #ForbesFlash, and we'll see you next week. Tune in every Friday morning, same time, same place.